Now that we've filled out the customers and the revenues pages, we arrive at the costs page. And it's not necessarily a hard and fast rule that you need to fill this one out third. You can fill the costs out first if you would like. But the way that we built Poindexter is that each of these sections of your business model have a relationship with one another. And if you click on the add button here, that will become more readily apparent with some of the options we have available. You'll see that some of them are labeled, for instance, per transaction or percentage of sales, and these have a direct relationship with your revenue streams. So if you want access to those models, you will need to have revenue streams in place in order to forecast costs on this type of basis. And you'll notice that all of these models are really named not according to what the particular cost is, not rent, no utilities or things of that nature. Instead, you'll see recurring or per transaction, and really more of a focus on how that cost is taking place. So if we wanted to input rent or utilities or something that happens pretty consistently, a recurring cost model would cover all of those scenarios because they happen pretty consistently on a monthly, yearly, quarterly, or even daily basis. All of those costs will be covered by this model. But this per transaction model, again, relates directly to revenues. And if we hop right over to revenues really quick, we can see that we have some product sales here as our revenue stream, and it's utilizing what is known as our purchase revenue model. And what that means is that every time a customer converts, they purchase something from us for this designated price here, which is $19.99, and in return for that purchase, they get some goods or services. And since we are selling a product, we might have a cost associated with each product we sell. So we can actually add a per transaction model. We can call it materials because if we're selling a product, there's likely materials that are associated with putting that product together, manufacturing, or even just acquiring it from a manufacturer. And then all we have to do is input the price of that particular product for each transaction. So we're selling it for $19.99. The cost for this transaction, only in the sense of materials, is $5. We can associate it with some inventory if we would like, but we don't really need to get into that at the moment. All we need to do is make sure that the revenue stream that we have selected down here is the appropriate revenue stream to associate this cost with, and that's it. We can just click save, and we are automatically going to forecast out our materials costs for each transaction, which again is taking place based on our customer acquisition strategy from the customers page. If you'd like to learn more about each of these cost models from the drop down here, all you have to do is go to the bottom right hand corner and see this little question mark. We can click that and then navigate to the costs page, which is listed right here on the top level, and we get a drop down with all of the corresponding cost models. You can click into them to get more detail around what each model is about and how to fill out each of the fields.